Hi everyone, it's Deborah and I'm making my infinity card today. Now I showed you yesterday the measurements and how to make it, and this morning I've cut myself some paper, just card stock, and I'm just going to score it up and put it together so that I can actually make my card. Now I've got some paper dolls out, but I've also got a whole bunch of old stuff. Now, this is stuff that I've had forever, and I thought instead of just leaving it sit in this container, I might try and use some of it. I don't know whether that's going to work or not, but we'll have a go and see if we can make it work. Now I don't have a pencil handy, so I'm using a pen, which is probably not the best thing to get this to be in the right place, but it is what it is. Just put this here. Oh, I probably don't need one on, oh yeah, I do need one on that side, don't I? Okay, we'll try one more on here. Oh, just get this. Hang on, I'll turn it over the other way. Maybe that will be easier to work out where it's got to go. And let's put a line here and a line here. Okay, so these two sit like this, if you remember from yesterday, and then I have to put some tape on them, and I am just going to stick with the double-sided tape. I don't want to wait for the glue to dry. I've cut some 3-inch papers, squares, and I'm just going to put them down on these pieces here. So I have to make sure that I'm doing them in sort of an upright position, and I'm hoping that that's going to still turn after I put these on. Just want to check that one. I think that's just over a little bit, even though I've cut it at 3. It's obviously just missed a little bit of that edge when I've cut, not quite at the 3 inches. So I'll just trim that off like that. I'm using a palette knife to spread this glue because I want to make sure that the whole surface is covered, because this will be, you know, bearing the brunt of all this turning, that I don't want to have a piece that's not attached properly. And again, you can see I need to trim this down. And the paper I'm using is just some Tim Holtz paper. I think it's the memoranda, but I'm really not sure. That's the range that I think that it is. So when I turn it, it's quite fun now, it's working. They're coming back together and it's still sitting quite well. Now this guy here, he needs to be cut. So I have to measure, because otherwise his legs will be cut incorrectly. Now, you know, I want them to both be the same size when I cut him. So I'm going to cut across here, just on the bottom of the paper, and then again just on the top of this paper. And the reason that I'm cutting him there is I need to leave a tiny gap so that when he is on the page he can still turn. You see, because I had to cut both his legs off individually, and I needed to make sure that he was going to fit still. Now the trick will be that I get his feet round the right way. Although that would be funny, wouldn't it, if I put his feet on opposite sides. So it needs to sit under his leg, but not on that fold, because if you put that on the fold, it's not going to turn. I've lost a leg, hang on. And let's put his head on while I think about where I've put that leg. I think that it's not going to turn if you put it over the top. So that's why I'm just going on leaving that little gap. Now, I need his leg now. Oh, there it is. It was upside down on the white. You probably saw it. Were you screaming at me? There it is, Deborah. Look, Deborah. I didn't hear you. Just scream louder, please. Otherwise I can't hear what you're saying. And there again. Now that we've got him on there, I want to see what he looks like when he's turned. It's getting a bit tighter to turn now. Oh, then it becomes easier when you get back onto this side. So you can't really see him at all until he comes back around to the front. So when you turn this way, you're looking at this side, not that side. And same for this one, he's on the inside. And until he comes back to the front, you can't really see him. I'm getting a tiny bit of catching on here. I'm going to trim this back. I can see it's just a microscopic little bit over the edge. And that's what's causing it probably to catch. Get that off there. Probably cut a little bit too much, but I think it's fine. Let's try it again. Around and around and up. That's much better. It's not catching at all now. And this is something that I made ages ago. It's a little piece where I've used my letters and the sticker letters, put them on and inked it, and then revealed the underneath by taking off the letters. So maybe I can use that. So here you could do some journaling on this bit here. So I'm not going to put anything over that, otherwise you won't be able to journal on it. So kind of put things around the outside, and that way it'll keep it from, you know, being, you can use it in the correct way. I wonder if I can put this on here. I need to cut this straight. Now I have this, which is, this is actually the top of the packet, and I always liked to keep things like this because I think that this is something that you can use, and it's a piece of card, so it's going to cut quite well. I'm just going to cut the word elements off. Put this down here maybe, yeah, that can go there. And I'll just see if I've got something in here that I can put up. Oh, I've got a little, oh, it's broken. It can go in the bin, that. Oh, I've got a little photo. I had another little photo somewhere. I don't know where I put that. Oh, here. Here. You can see I've always loved little photos and things. Even before Tim Holtz started bringing things out like this, I was buying and using them in my artwork and my scrapbooks and card making and various other things that I used to do back then. Just want to put this up under this 8, just because the 8 looked a bit weird just sitting there. If I do that, it'll look better. It's starting to get thick now. So when you do that, you've still got those 2 pieces. So some of it is, you know, overlapping with this. But what I found is a little frame. It's like a film slide frame, and I thought I could put that over that photo just to give it a bit more, you know, update it a little bit so it's not just a photo stuck on there. And this glue dries clear, so if I get a little bit in those holes, it's not the end of the world. Just grab this and this along. No, it's not quite at the edge of the photo, but I'm cool with that. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'll let that dry, and that's just a little bit more embellishment on top of that particular photo there. And then I want to put a word down the bottom of where you're going to be able to journal. I'm just going to cut this, and it says original vintage on here, just so that there's something on there. This is quite a good way to use up all your little bits and pieces as well. So if you've got a little box of things like I have here, then just get them out and then you can, you know, play, because these are tiny little pieces. So that gives you a chance to use up some of your smaller pieces. I think that's quite a good thing to use this on, and you can still pop it into a journal. If I use a ruler, just cut this, or mark this to be cut. Again, this is one of the collections pieces, this one. I just wanted to put that up there so you've got a bit of a ticket there. Maybe I should have put it around the other side, but no, it's fine there. I like it there. Now, to get this straight, I'm using the actual piece and I'm lining it up because I cut it crooked. Okay, and then this can go on here, and I'll have to cut it down a tiny bit more, but at least that's a good starting point for it. These are 2 inch by 2 inch, and you normally get these in the paper packs, the Tim Holtz paper packs, although he's not making those anymore. He said he's gonna, I think he said, stick with some of the ones that are popular, and hopefully that means the memoranda and the wallflower, but he's going to a 9 or 10 inch or 9 inch by, I think it was 6 or something, wasn't it, sheet, so that he can have stuff that you can use in the vagabond and thing with the dies, that they'll fit those dies, rather than the 12 by 12 where perhaps you're wasting or not using at that instance that extra piece of paper. And that's fine, but I really like these little images because they're so tiny, and on the sheet you get the one on the 12 by 12, so that's a 12 by 12 that's been reduced down, they all are, and so you end up with these tiny little images of things, and they're double-sided so you can use either side. So that's a bit of a pity that we're not going to be able to have those in future things. And I think he's stopping the 8 by 8s as well. So all of that sort of stuff, and the 6 by 6s is going. Now see, that comes over here like that, but when you flip that up, that's actually all one piece. So I think what I should have done, I'll pull that off. I should have put a single piece on here. Yeah. Now when I go back this way, let's just go back again. Around like that, then you've got that there, and I didn't realise it when I put that down. So I do have to find another single piece to go in here, a little piece. So I've cut a couple more papers so that I can try and get this to be finished. I just cut them from a big piece, and I really like this lovely stripe here. You can see it's getting quite thick now, but that's fine, I think. So I now have all my surfaces covered. I just have to work out how it's going together. Start here. This is the best way, is to start with him. And this goes up like that, that comes up like that. I wanted to put some things down, so I've got another box of goodies here. In fact, I've got a little ticket here, the rest of that ticket. I might sort of put the rest of that ticket here. That doesn't bend, so that it can go in there like that. I'll put it like this actually. But I also have this packet of stuff. And this is just a few bits and bobs that I have. Got some cards, they're all too big. What's this bit here? That's probably not the right size. These are just some things I have, and this is actually a little card, and I'll cut it off. It's a little, like a little gift card or something. Just got an Australian scene, man on his horse with some sheep. I think it might be the right size for this piece though. And I'm wondering what else I can put on here. See what else I've got in these little pictures. Lots of florally things. They're just really old little cards, and they're quite wrecked, so I thought that's why I'd try and use a couple in here or in something at some point. Also got my green stamps. I have a lot of stamps and I pulled all these green ones out and marked them as mine because I love green, as you know. And I didn't want to give the green ones away. I've got a little green koala. I'll put him in here. They're really pretty green colours too. Yes, you might put him down here because this says Australia. So I just need some more paper towel. And I think I'm going to use one of these words as well. I'll use discover this time. Try and find something appropriate, and that seems quite appropriate to put discover down here. Maybe I can put another photo down there. Let's just cut this little one up. It's like an old cabinet card. Because this is now 6 inches by 6 inches, it's going to fit well in terms of a journal. So it'll just be on the edge. My journals, I usually make them like 8 by 6, so it'll definitely fit. I also want to get a word to go on here. I might find another one of this, maybe friend. Might put a number up here. I don't know why, I just really like these numbers. Again, collections, definitely collections, these numbers. They came in a set with the red, the black and the cream. They always seem to be really good size for everything. I think that I'm done. So let's start at the beginning if I can find it. Here. So this is the beginning. Now I could put some more stuff on there, but I was just wondering what I might put on there. Here's a little camera. Maybe I'll put the little camera up there. That's quite cutie. This is just a piece of chipboard from somewhere. I could probably remember if I racked my brain, but I don't know, the brain's not working very well this afternoon for some odd reason. I apologise for that. I'm just putting it on the side like that. Now I wanted to go back to that picture. So this is where I put the glue before, and you can see that it's completely dried clear. So you can't even see it now. So then this comes up. That's a bit wet still because I only just did that one. And then over to this one. This here is a bit nuisance, but maybe I can get some washi and put on it. In fact, I could put washi on these joins. That's probably the best idea. So I just will put some washi down. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. I think all it's going to do is hide these joins a little bit. Particularly this one that's gone a bit wonky. I'll put it down on 2 of them and then I'll test it and see if it still works. Yeah, it's fine. Works fine. You can see that there. So just check if there's anything else that needs it. I think that's fine. That one's fine. So there you go. I think that's something that's a bit different. You could leave a lot more space on it. I mean, I can journal here. I can write a little note on top of this one. You know, this is, I've specifically left that to journal on. But that's the infinity card done as a spot to journal in. And so, as I said, 6 by 6. And so you can tuck this into another journal and you would be able to then use it. Or you could give it as a card or just have it as a standalone piece. But that wasn't too hard. In fact, it was pretty easy, I think. I just wasn't terribly organised with my bits and bobs today because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just really wanted to use some of this sort of stuff that I've had hanging around for years. Well, at least since 2004, if not, you know, probably that long since I've had some of those things. So, you know, 16, 17 years later, it's probably time that I use some of this stuff. So that's it. I'm very happy with it. And I hope you liked that too. Thanks very much for joining me today. This is Deborah. Cheers.